Okay, in this video, what we're not going to do is do a regular Photoshop tutorial. However, I think what we'll do is we'll do a photographic critique on some images that are in the gallery. And the first one I have up here is I'm looking at an image of apparently a canyon of some sort. It was taken at some great height, and I believe it's from a height just a little higher than the canyon that we're looking at. And in any terrific or great landscape, I'm usually looking for a foreground, a midground, and a background. And I don't see very much of a foreground. I see this area right in here, but that's over the top of this hill here. The only foreground I see in this whole image is probably right in here, so then there's no foreground, and then I've got the midground, which is right here. And then we have the background, which is the distance mountains and the sky. So now let's take a look at the colors, if they complement with one another. A lot of gray going on here. Now, there's nothing wrong with gray, you know. I mean, after all, a totally black and white photograph is nothing but composed of a lot of grays and blacks and whites. But I'm looking at the lines in this image here. The lines are converging right in the middle of the image. They don't really make sense. The lines are broken up by this area here. I see a nice sweep with the lines, and it continues on here this way, but it's broken up by this area right in here. So let's see what else. The horizon is right on the upper third, so that looks good right there. Not much happening in the forms of the clouds. The clouds don't look very, very interesting. A lot of spotty green. So what am I supposed to be looking at? What is the central point of focus here? Am I supposed to be overwhelmed by the breadth and width of this image? It may be that if it was a panoramic image, it may have been a better image. I don't know. On a scale from 1 to 5, I'd give this a 1. I don't really see any artistic value to this image whatsoever. It's a snapshot. Basically, hey, look, I was on vacation. This is where I was. Well, let's take a look at this image here. Now, the first thing my eye is drawn to is right here, right, boom, right dead in the center, right smack dab in the center, and I'll tell you why. Because my eye is there's some symmetry going on here. You got this fence here is stealing the focus, and this big rock here is also stealing the focus. And my eye doesn't know which one to go to, so immediately it goes right here, and my brain has to decide to which one I'm going to look at. So it's a very, very, very confusing. I don't know which is the central point of focus here. Regardless of which one it is, if it were the rock, I've got this area right in here that's blocking the rock anyway. You know, so if that was the central point of focus, it wasn't composed very well because the rock is being blocked by the weeds, and so are the weeds in this area right here. A lot of growing up. Well, what I mean by growing up is a lot of growth. I'm totally confused about You got weeds over here, weeds over here, weeds over here. You got growth over here, shadows over here. If any one of these areas here were the central point of focus, I would think that they would fill the frame a little bit more. So I'm not very pleased with this. On a scale from 1 to 10, I would probably rate this a 1. Okay, so let's bring in our last image, and I want to take a look at here. And immediately I'm seeing that there is a foreground. You got this grassy area right here, and you've got this tree right in here. And the tree is off to the side. It's really, really nice. And look at this. You got this sweeping branch that comes right across here in a nice, beautiful arc. I like that. Now, also, I'm looking at the highlights and the shadows. There's a lot of highlights and shadows going on in this, on this tree bark and on this tree trunk, which complements the image and kind of like lends itself to the grassy area here, where there's a lot of lights and darks here. Now, there's no question in my mind what the central point of focus is, and it's this bale of hay here. And it's centralized right in the middle of the image. It's offset just slightly to the right. And it's like there's it's on stage. There's a spotlight right on it. I mean, it's the natural lighting of the image, and it's spotlighted, and there's no question where my eye is supposed to be going. In perspective, though, I think this little fence post right here is very distracting. Maybe it couldn't be helped. Maybe the photographer could have moved over slightly and reframed it. I don't know. It's unfortunate it's there, but it is, and it is a little bit distracting. You've got as I mentioned, the highlight on the central point of focus, which is the bale of hay. So you got a foreground, you got the midground, which is the grassy area here, and you've got the background, which is very pleasing to the eye. You've got this light area in the sky, complemented by the high contrast in the cloudy areas. So it's a very contrasted image, in that you're going from green right up into blue. It's cut off right at the lower third. You've got a foreground here, and you've got a very, very graceful, sweeping branch in the foreground that lends itself and frames the central point of focus, which is this bale of hay. Now, normally, I would say if the central point of focus was should fill the frame, but in this particular case, it doesn't work. It works well just the way it is. I like it. So it's a good picture. On a scale from 1 to 10, I rate this a 5. So we've got a foreground, we've got the midground, and we've got the background. And if we bring back in this image here, we've got no foreground. We've got a midground, which is right about here, right in the middle of the image. And the background, I don't know what the background is. Maybe these trees in the background right here, possibly. I don't know what my mind is unmade up, is unsure about what I'm supposed to be looking at. Am I supposed to be looking at the fence? Am I supposed to be looking at the rock? And on our first image, our vacation shot, out west, Midwest, maybe, perhaps, I was here. I got a photograph to prove it. Or Rather, I've got a snapshot to prove it. Thank you.